the looming thunder. In the heart of eastern Nigeria, where the golden sun kissed the tops of the Obu hills and the winds whispered through centuries-old Iroko trees, two neighboring communities, Obuofia and Kemko, lived in uneasy peace. Though bound by kinship, language, and trade, their histories were littered with episodes of bitter rivalry and bloodshed. Obuofia, famed for its fearless warriors and mystic oracles, sat on the Crimson Hills that glowed like embers during sunset. Its people were said to be born with the fire of Amadioha in their veins, proud, quick to anger, and fiercely territorial. On the other hand, Nkemko thrived in the fertile valley below, blessed with vast lands, rivers teeming with fish, and a reputation for cunning diplomacy. The last war between them had ended 50 years ago, when an ancient truce was sealed with the sacred blood of twin rams, their necks slit under the sacred Ogba tree by both elders. But the soil beneath that tree had not forgotten the blood that soaked it. 2. The spark. Trouble began during the festival of New Yams, when a famed Kemko hunter, Udoka, accidentally, or so it seemed, shot a sacred leopard revered by the people of Obuofia. The leopard, Uli the Silent One, was considered a guardian spirit that roamed between the worlds, and her death was interpreted as a declaration of war. Udoka swore by the gods that the shooting was unintended, but the Obuofia council would hear none of it. Worse still, the Obuofia diviner, Dibian Wokaik, revealed that the spirit of the leopard had spoken in his dream, thirsting for vengeance. Obuofia's warriors began to beat the Ekwe drums, the rhythm of war echoing across the hills like the beating of ancestral hearts. In Kemko, elders called for calm, but their youth, incited by past wounds and recent insults, rallied under their own war banner. And so the stage was set for another bloody chapter in the tale of these ancient foes. 3. The war begins. The war began not with swords, but with silence. For 2 months, scouts from both sides vanished in the forest that separated their lands. Trade routes were cut off. Crops near the borders were burnt at night by unseen hands. Then came the night of echoes. It was said that thunder roared, yet there was no rain. That spirit screamed, yet no mouths opened. In truth, Obuofia's warriors had crept through the Oji forest under the cover of darkness and razed 3 Kemko hamlets to the ground. They left no survivors, only the message, "The gods remember," scrawled in blood on the hot walls. Kemko responded swiftly. Their commander, the brilliant and ruthless Ikin the Flame, known for outwitting stronger armies, led a campaign up the hills. In a shocking counterattack, he ambushed Obuofia's advance forces at the Hill of Bones, killing their war leader, Ifani the Thunderer, in single combat. Now, the war was in full swing. Spears clashed, arrows rained like locusts, and the cries of the wounded filled the valleys. Women wailed songs of mourning while children were spirited away to secret caves for protection. 4. The betrayal. As the war raged, the 2 communities suffered. Fields lay fallow, rivers turned red with blood, and vultures grew fat from corpses. Yet the elders refused to yield. Honor and vengeance danced hand in hand. In this time of darkness, a new player emerged, Amoka, daughter of Obuofia's chief priest. She was sharp-tongued, beautiful, and as bold as a lioness. Unknown to many, Amoka had been secretly in love with Ikin, the Kemko commander, ever since they met at a forbidden market during the last moon festival. Their love, like the war, was forbidden, but powerful. One night, under the light of a ghostly moon, Amoka crossed enemy lines to meet Ikin near the sacred Ogba tree. There, they devised a plan to end the war, by assassinating their own war-hungry elders, who had grown blind to the suffering of their people. But someone had been listening. Chijioke, the Obuofia warseer, burned with jealousy over Amoka's affections and secretly followed her. Discovering the plan, he betrayed her to the Obuofia War Council. The next morning, Amoka was seized and accused of treason. Bound and humiliated, she was to be sacrificed to appease the gods. Ikin, upon hearing of this, flew into a rage and launched a reckless assault on Obuofia's main shrine, determined to rescue her. What followed was the bloodiest battle of the war. Ikin was captured. The lovers, both imprisoned and awaiting execution, were brought before the elders. The air was thick with judgment, but Amoka, defiant even in chains, spoke. You kill your children for peace. You murder love and call it loyalty. If the gods demand blood, then let it be ours, but let this madness end. Moved by her words, and exhausted by the endless war, one old chief, Elder Okonkwo of the Red Mask, finally spoke what others dared not. Perhaps the gods are tired of our foolishness. Perhaps it is not vengeance they want, but healing. A silence fell over the gathering. 6. The path to peace. In a moment that would shape history, Amoka and Ikin were not executed. Instead, they were anointed as emissaries of peace and charged with leading a delegation to negotiate an end to the war. Some still oppose this. Chijioke, the jealous seer, tried to sabotage the peace talks by invoking a false prophecy, claiming doom if the two were allowed to wed. Amoka and Ikin were wed. Their marriage became the new symbol of unity. The same people who had cursed them now danced at their feet. Drums of war were replaced by flutes of celebration. The Crimson Hills saw the return of grain, and the river between them, once red, flowed clear again.